Now, thank you again for everyone who's able to join us. And we still have folks coming in, so I'm going to just keep letting everyone in. Um, and for folks who have just joined, please enter your student's name and grade. And if you have any burning questions for Mr. DeRocco, his presentation will be in a little bit. So just sharing my screen with you all. Thank you again to everyone who joined us. I'm hoping to keep our meeting short so we can give everyone time back this evening as we all get ready to sign off for the holidays. So as I said, we still have some folks joining who are coming in. Your child's name, grade, and if you have a burning question for Mr. DeRocco. We're going to go through some activities, get an update from our treasurer. Um, Dr. Van Leer will also provide us an update. We'll chat a little bit about some plans that have come out from the Teacher Appreciation Week Committee. And we will have our special guest speaker, Mr. DeRocco, that we're so excited to have. We'll chat about some upcoming volunteer opportunities and just chat through any additional updates. So we have, so for, we still have folks coming in. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. For clubs and activities grants, we have two new clubs that have submitted grants, our chess club and our archery club. So we still have students coming in and applying for grants, which is wonderful. We have about $1,600 left to award in grants. So we're going to do another push to let students and teachers who lead clubs know that they are able to apply for these grants. And then starting in January, we're going to have some of the groups that have received grants either this year or previously present to us on some of the things that they're doing with the grants that they've received. Um, and I will turn it now over to Josh for an update on our budget.
Hi, everybody. Very similar to last month. We haven't spent too much more. We're in a good place. We have a little over $21,000 in the bank. We are continuing to trend based on our budget. Everything is the same. And if all our money gets spent as expected, we will have a little more than the $4,000 we want to have at the end of the year to carry over to next year. Really waiting for a lot of those clubs and activities to start sending in reimbursements so we can give them money back, as well as senior activities, which haven't started up yet either. As always, if you have any questions or want some more details, reach out to me directly or to Steph, and she can point you my way.
Thank you so much, Josh. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Van Leer.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. So Techtastic is tomorrow. We got an email, and I put this out in the newsletter that I put out this week. We got an email earlier this week that Dr. Duran is stepping in as a substitute teacher for us. And so it turns out that he is going to be helping with Techtastic. I think he's running the four-way volleyball that's going on. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But I've seen a lot of cans come in, and I'm excited for tomorrow. And I know ATAC is helping us out with food, and so thank you very much for that. Academic advising, we're getting ready for that. We've been shoring up the CRF, which is the course card. So just so that you know what the timeline looks like, in January, teachers will give recommendations to the guidance counselors, or I'm sorry, to the school counselors about what courses students should be taking, and we'll have an elective fair so that students can go around and see a lot of the electives that are in the building and talk to other students who are taking those electives. In February, all of our school counselors meet one-on-one with their students and talk about their academic choices and kind of plan out. So that will happen in the first couple weeks of February, and then the course cards are due at the end of February. So believe it or not, we're already making plans for next year's courses. And then I'm excited to celebrate three teachers just recently earned their national boards, and they did it on the first try, which is awesome. And so Henry Hines, Leah McFarland, and Liz Gephardt. Henry teaches English, Leah teaches English, and Liz teaches Latin. And then finally, you received an email from Mr. Maynor on the new phone policy that's supposed to go in effect when we go back after break. So you should see Mr. Maynor's email for the details on that. And we're not supposed to have any phones out between 8 and 3 o'clock. So we just want parents to know that that change is being made. It's not a huge change because students shouldn't have their phones out in classes now anyways. And so those are the big ones. Oh, do you want to really, really fast, just to let you know, a couple of pictures that I have on the side. On the very bottom one, our freshmen in Henry Hines' class did a project on Romeo and Juliet. They brought in theater experts and they had to do an adaptation and pitch an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet to the theater experts. And then we also had a panel for the ninth graders for Cornerstone on transportation. And the engineering classes are talking about the art buses versus our yellow buses and collecting some data on what transportation works best. And then on the very top, I have some of the eighth grade tours that our students led. And I received a lot of emails, many emails from the general public who went to our tours on Tuesday night that were huge kudos and thank yous and compliments to the students who were there. So it was a really positive experience. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Van Laer. Any questions? And Tectastic is what time tomorrow, Dr. Van Laer?
From 9:30 to 11:30. And so students will still have first period, fourth period, and fifth period regular classes.
Okay. And we're going to get lots of photos of Dr. Duran.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So teacher and staff appreciation, as we have shared before, we are looking to expand teacher appreciation to also recognize our staff at various times throughout the year. So these are the dates. We have personalized cards that we will be sharing and gift cards with each of these staff groups throughout the school year. We already did our custodians for National School Custodian Day. So that is in process, and Dr. Van Laer is working with us to get these out. And Teacher Appreciation Week committee met. I know it's May, and that feels far away, but it's actually going to be here really quickly. Special thanks to Jennifer, Christina, Amber, and Sherry, who have signed up to be on that committee. We came up with a plan right now. We're working to do a teacher appreciation wall and on one of the walls in the school building. There'll be a big banner thanking our teachers, and students will be invited to write a personal note of thanks to a teacher with a post-it and put it up on the wall. We're hoping to fill the wall throughout the week. On Tuesday, we'll be delivering morning munchies to the school. On Wednesday, we will be contributing to the teacher and staff lunch. And on Thursday, we're going to be providing supplies, hopefully partnering with the Kindness Club at school to create tokens of appreciation for teachers that will be distributed on Thursday. And then on Friday, we will be presenting gift cards to the teachers and staff that work with our ATAC, our Arlington Tech students. There will be a fundraiser in about March, April to raise money for those gift cards. Those resources do not come out of our overall budget. So look out for that. I think we try to gift about a gift card of about $30, $35 to each teacher and staff in the past. So that's our plan. We have between the committee, we're doing the research. We're starting to put plans together, but we will definitely need volunteers that week to help execute this plan. And we will be meeting again in February and March. So we will reach out. Any questions or feedback on Teacher Appreciation Week? so we can get to Mr. DeRocco. Thank you so much again, Mr. DeRocco, for joining us. I will turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for inviting me here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mr. Frank DeRocco, the College and Career Counselor for ACC. I came over to the Career Center in about 2017 to 2020 as a school counselor. I was part of the first cohort of students that graduated, and I've been here ever since. And then in 2020, I got the new role of the College and Career Counselor. So thanks for having me. I'm still here. You can go to the next slide and stuff. Just a really quick snapshot of some of the things that I do. I don't want to bore you with any details. But right now, so for the better part of this semester, I've been helping students with their Common Apps, submitting college applications, starting college application, kind of navigating students through that process and through that platform. In the fall, we did about 20 to 30 different college visits as part of our in-person college visit program at ACC. And in the spring, we'll have representatives from Northern Virginia Community College in my office once a month, holding open office hours for those students interested in Northern Virginia Community College. Of course, I help students with their researching colleges and building their college lists. I walk them through the teacher and counselor recommendation process, and I probably still write about 20 to 25 recommendations a year. Of course, scholarship promotion is starting to come up, and I've been helping students with scholarship applications. I go into classrooms and I do different grade level presentations, 9th through 12th grade. I just started some 9th grade presentations. I call it freshman seminar, where I kind of introduce the students to high school, let them know how many credits they need, graduation requirements, what college they're looking for, GPA, etc. Typically every year in September, we'll do a college information session for seniors and their parents, and then we'll do one in the spring geared towards juniors. I do SAT and ACT registration. I also provide as many students as I can with fee waivers, so they don't have to pay for these exams. I also give students fee waivers to waive all of their college application fees if there's a need there. I spend a good amount of time reviewing transcripts, sending transcripts, helping students integrate their Common App accounts with Naviance. Once I do that process, I have access to their college applications. I can see their colleges that they're applying to. I can see their deadlines, and I can start sending files over to colleges on students' behalf. And up until recently, the most recent thing we're doing, as Dr. Van Laer said, we're doing course selection with 8th graders. So I'll be visiting some of the middle schools in February, and I'll be talking to future Arlington Tech students in regards to their course selection for the upcoming year. And as all the students know, I have an open door policy. I do share an office with Mickey Kaufman, who's our capstone coordinator. I also share an office with Miss Magro, who's our Nova DE coordinator. So students come to my office really to talk to all three of us. Sometimes it's a one-stop shop. But that's just a quick snapshot of some of the things I do for our students at ACC and stuff. You can go to the next slide. Here's just a quick graphic of the top 12 and top 20 colleges that our students apply to. This is historic data going back to year 2020. So as you can see, there's no surprises there. We have a lot of in-state, amazing in-state colleges, and our students in Virginia seem to prefer a lot of in-state colleges. Of course, we go out of state, and we even go out of the country into Alaska, Canada, and into Europe. But you can see there's the list of the most popular colleges that our students have applied to. You can go to the next slide. Just a few more graphics here. Here's a little map that I compiled that shows where our students were accepted, right? So the first couple of years, we were heavy on the East Coast. And as we expanded our operation and expanded our school, we have gone to the Midwest, Florida, all the way to the West Coast. We had a couple kids who enrolled in Alaska couple years ago. We have students accepted in Hawaii, and I couldn't fit Europe on this map. Technologically, not that advanced, but we do have students that actually attend college in Europe, and I'll be seeing some of these students on January 9th at our Alumni Day. Okay, a few more slides. So here's just a couple scattergrams that we all have access to through our Naviance account. Again, here's some more historical data going back to our first graduating class of 2020. And you can see on the scattergram on that access, you can see the green check marks and boxes. Those represent students that were accepted at the college. Of course, the red X's are students that were denied, and anything that's blue or purple, either waitlisted or deferred. So you can see at George Mason, we have a lot of students who would attend there and apply there, and we have a lot of success at George Mason. Next slide.
What's the difference between the check mark in the box and outside of
Okay,
it?
I think I'd have to go back and look. I'd have to go back and look at the key.
Okay.
I think one was accepted and one was maybe waitlist accepted. I have to go back and look at the key. Either way, they got accepted through some form.
Okay.
Here's just a quick blurb about our recent partnership with George Mason University. So if our students have a minimum GPA as of the end of their junior year, they were automatically granted acceptances to George Mason University. The only thing they need to do is go back into their email, look at the invitation from George Mason, finish the application, and submit it. There's a little contact information for our ACC contact, but that's a new partnership that we and a few other schools in Arlington have with George Mason. Just a few more slides, and I promise to jump off. Here is our Virginia Tech scattergram. You can see where we're grouped as far as Virginia Tech. Not much to say there, except one thing I could say is that we have about a 40% acceptance rate at Virginia Tech. And I think that's about 15 percentage points higher than the state and national average, which is about 25%. So we've done really good at Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech likes our students. Just a few more scattergrams. James Madison, you can see the historical data there, one of our popular schools. And I think I have one more, and I have two more. VCU, clearly, VCU likes our students. Our students go there for a variety of their programs, anything from their medical campus to their arts program. So our students do well there. And I think the next one, Steph, is the last one. I threw in Penn State. There may be some Penn State people on this call. I'm not sure. There's a lot of Penn State people in our building, and I know Penn State is one of the popular colleges that our students apply to, and we've had a lot of success at Penn State as well. This is something I clearly track, this data, and if anyone would like any scattergrams about any other schools we've applied to since 2020, I can give you that information, or you can look it up yourselves through your Naviance accounts. If any parents here don't have a Naviance account, shoot me an email and I can activate your account for you. Or you can just look over your student's shoulder and look at their accounts. They all have access to it as well. Thank you. That's all I have for this session.
Thank you so much, Mr. DeRocco. And I added the slide again so that if anyone wants to grab a picture of it or grab Mr. DeRocco's contact information. As a mom of a senior, Mr. DeRocco, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate getting all of the jokes of the week and all of the amazing reminders that you send the students. My daughter told me if there's one ACC staff member's email who she always makes sure to open, it's yours. And I feel like you develop that pattern with students as of 9th grade. You start emailing them and communicating, which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Do we have any questions for Mr. DeRocco?
Before we get into questions, can I just do kind of an add-on? A lot of the things that Mr. DeRocco was talking about getting students ready for, I just want to put a bug in people's ear about junior year. We ask students to go through something we call Archstone. It is a series of classes and activities that they do through Canvas during their Archers period. And the grade for doing all that ends up in their English grade. And the project at the end is a professional website. And part of that are some lessons on how to reach out for teacher recommendations. It's also linked to Capstone because there'll be lessons about interviews, doing mock interviews, making sure your resume is ready, all of those kinds of things that get you ready for Capstone as well. So if your future junior or your current junior talks about Archstone, those are the activities we're asking the class to do that hopefully will get them ready for some of these activities that are coming up for them.
Thank you, Dr. Vinler. Anyone else want to jump in with a question?
I have a question. This is Jesse Ginther. I'm Gabrielle's mom. He's a junior, and I also want to thank you. Just like Steph said, I appreciate all of the emails, all of the helpful information, all of the communication. I have another student who's at Yorktown, and you by far are the best. So thank you so much for your guidance and your support. And I guess my question is probably going to make me seem like I'm a helicopter mom, but I'm really not. How do we, my son is a son who doesn't, he's a teenager, as all of ours are. And so I want to make sure that he's spending the right amount of time with you and getting information. When I talk to him about it, he's like, yeah, don't worry about it, mom. So like, should I just encourage him to come visit you once a week or once a month, or is that just ridiculous? They should just visit you when they have a reason to visit you that they know of. You know what I mean? Like, how can we support you in reaching out to them and them reaching out to you? What does that look like?
I'm sorry, you said your son's a junior?
He is.
Okay, so I will sink my claws in. If the juniors have not gotten to me yet, I will definitely start seeing them
Okay.
on a regular basis, probably through their English classes. I'm also going to start doing like monthly workshops, like starting in February, March, April, May. I'm going to start doing monthly workshops geared towards the junior, and each month is going to focus on a different topic of the college application process. So I'm going to run those sessions through. Like I said, I'll be in English classes doing a more comprehensive overview of how things are going to work. But also, I'll do the workshops a couple times during the week during Archer's period. So students are welcome to come then. Like I said, I have an open door policy. I'm a pretty friendly guy. The students know me. They know where to find me. It's not uncommon for students to tell their parents that they met with me when they really didn't. Right? We get that all the time. They're like, yeah, I'll go see Mr. DeRocco. I'll go see him. But I think that eventually it gets to a space where they're kind of in the middle of starting or developing their college application process, and they realize I do need a little help, and they end up finding me eventually.
Do you think, can I follow up on that just to ask, do you think that it makes sense for parents to check in and see whether kids are coming to you, or do you think kids just organically start coming to you?
I think it's a mixture of both. I do have a good amount of parents that do follow up with me, asking me to follow up with their student if there's a pressing need. So really it depends on what the students want, and depends on where they are in the process. Some just aren't ready yet, but they will be ready in a couple months. Some are not ready until the beginning of senior year. Some are ready to hit the ground running freshman year. So it really depends on the student.
And as my daughter has told me, if you don't find Mr. DeRocco, he's going to find you.
I will find you. Yes. If I need something from them, if I see an anomaly on an application or they did not apply a recommendation to a certain school, it's something I do scan through and I notice, and I will remind students. And I always CC parents on emails to students, so we're all on the same page.
Wonderful. We have a question about the SAT dates for the spring and ACT.
They're all published on either collegeboard.org. They have all the March, April, and May SAT dates and the ACT test dates. They're all published on their websites. One thing I could say is that Arlington is an SAT county, so a lot of the comprehensive high schools in and around Arlington offer the SAT on the Saturdays. And for whatever reason, Arlington County is not an ACT testing county. So they have to go oftentimes to Fairfax County to take those tests. Thanks for putting the website up there.
I'm going to just drop in the ACT one as well. Wonderful. Well, does anyone else have any other questions? While we wait to see if anyone jumps in, I'm going to just highlight a few pages that Dr. Van Leer has added to the Arlington Tech website if anyone hasn't seen them. So this is our new college and career landing page. You can see some of our really impressive stats for a class of 2024. And we also have this wonderful page that I find very helpful, kind of elaborating on Mr. DeRocco's list of where our students go to college. So this landing page, and I'll put it in the chat, has a full list of all of the schools where our students have been accepted. And again, it is an insanely impressive list. So Mr. DeRocco, so many kudos to you. We also have our 2024 brag sheet that we have linked up that also has a list of the schools. So I think as students are brainstorming lists, this is definitely a good resource to look at as well. And one of the things, Mr. DeRocco, that I've been reflecting on a lot, that I've been telling prospective Arlington Tech parents, is like, admissions officers know our students. They know ACC, that you've built an amazing relationship with them. They know our reputation, and they are very, very interested and eager to speak to our students. Having, been a parent of a 12th grader who's visited an insane number of schools over the past year, they're just so eager. And I know you have visitors come often as well, admissions officers.
Yeah, and more often than not, the admission officers that do visit us are the ones that are actually reading the applications. So I think that's important to note for the students.
And I think that's another good place where, as parents, we can nudge, because I know Mr. DeRocco sends the email that says that they're coming, but making sure that we nudge our students to actually show up. I know my daughter went to one, and there weren't that many students there, which is great because she builds a great relationship with the admissions officers. But I think making sure that we're nudging as well.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Okay, well, you have Mr. DeRocco's contact information. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. DeRocco, I really appreciate your time. I know we all do, and we're very grateful to have you at ACC working with our students.
Okay, thank you. I'm grateful for all of you too, and have a great holiday break, everybody.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So like I promised, we were going to end early tonight. I know this is a holiday week, a few days before the holiday. Our next meeting is planned for January 23rd. We'll be off for 2 weeks. We will talk about more opportunities to volunteer and help for the spring. It seems like that's where most of our volunteer opportunities are going to be coming up as senior activities start to increase, as well as our Teacher Appreciation Week. Any questions before we say goodbye to everyone and happy holidays? If you haven't already dropped your name in the chat, your full name and child's name and grade, please do. It helps Jody as she sends the thank you note and the notes following the meeting. So iPhone person, please identify yourself. Thank you. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and we truly appreciate everything that you do to be here with us.
Thank you, Steph. Bye, everyone. Have a
Bye.
great
Thank
break.
you, Steph. Bye, everybody. Bye, Dr. Brindler.
Have a great break.
Keep the meeting open there a second, Steph. Let me get all these names.
I got you.
Thanks.